Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I am excited to test out the T2 Electric Retribution again. This is a dummy fit Retribution made to be more like a low intensive or more like a stress-free T2 Electric Abyss. And the reason I want to do this is because when I'm doing T4 Abyss in my T0 to T6 Abyss series, I've been having so inconsistent loot. I think loot is so much more consistent in the low tier filaments in terms of frigates, because the filament cost is basically nothing and you always seem to get at least something. So I wanted to just find a fit that is able to do the T2 electrics pretty smoothly and like pretty stress free. I already have a fit that's able to do T2s very smoothly and is a lot cheaper than this fit, and I would actually prefer to use that if I was going the Caldaria route with missiles. That would be a Hawk fit. I've made many videos on this. Go check out my hybrid T2 Hawk fits. They works wonders in the T2 Abyss. Requires good skills though, just keep in mind. But this is a Retribution. Previously, we tried a pretty expensive fit, and it was like, I didn't really care if it's expensive or not. I wanted to find something that's able to do T2 electrics smoothly. This one was able to tank them really well. It did, however, have a downside of it being hard to get the sights done really quickly, because the pulse lasers have very short range, and combine that with an afterburner, you're not going to be going too fast, so it takes a bit of time for you to get close to the enemies to destroy them. So I actually altered the fit slightly based on our previous run. So if we see here, this fit that we're going to be using now is called Cheaper Solo T2, and this is 173 million ISK, so like 100 million ISK less than the previous one. And the difference is that we're improving upon the shortcomings of before. So since I had a bit of a hard time to get to the enemies, I was thinking I could put an MWD, and this is going to help us get close very quickly, 2.4k a second fast. So that'll hopefully help in that regard. And the good thing about it is that this Coreli A-type 5MN is actually not too bad on the capacitor, so we won't have a lot less capacitor than before. The previous fit we used has 14 gigajoules a second in the electrical side. This one has 12 gigajoules a second in the electrical side. So there's not going to be a really big difference in the capacitor. I think this will help us a lot. The downside is that if we get warp disrupted, or not warp disrupted, or warp scrambled, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get out of it, since we will not be at all be able to move. But the same could be said about webs as well. So I think that we just have to focus stuff that scrambles us, and we should be alright. Then our tank is slightly weaker. We replaced the Imperial Navy Multispectrum Energized membrane with a Shadow Serpentis. The reason for this is simply because I couldn't fit enough CPU on this ship here. So this module uses less CPU than the Imperial Navy, but it also gives less resistances. So we have slightly less resistances than the previous fit, but only very minuscule. You can see here, expensive has, you see the resists, they change slightly. Cheaper, slightly different resists. And then I thought, since our tank was so good last time, I downgraded the armor repairs to Coreli A-types. Oh, it's not really downgraded per se, but I think these use less capacitor than the Senti A-types, but they also give less armor HP per second. So we're a little bit less tanky and more mobile, and we're also a lot cheaper. And in my opinion, that is going to be completely fine, because we had a lot of tank before. It felt like I didn't really have to at all worry about the tank before. And then now we're going to be a lot more mobile, so hopefully we'll be able to destroy stuff as well quicker than before. Hopefully. Okay, let's form a fleet with ourselves. That's important when you're doing the Frigate Abyss. URL Garista's Hidden Hideaway. I have been training some capital skills recently. Let's check if any of them have been training. Got Capital Shield Operation. Capitals will be coming hopefully soon. Soon, trademark. I want to use the Phoenix. That's my current plan. Could also be the Revelation. Definitely want to focus on using a Dreadnought of some sort. Okay, now we're in the safe. Let's get into the Abyss. Oh, we've got loot from the previous runs. Well, I guess more is on the line if we die. Do I have implants? Nope. Good, that's good. I don't want to have implants in when I go into this, just in case something goes wrong. Something can always go wrong in the Abyss, but I have no real use of implants here. That's not the intended purpose of this fit, to use implants. Okay, so we'll just jump straight in. Oh! No! We forgot to alter the fit here. Okay, I'm gonna have to speedrun this then and just get this over with, because I forgot to equip the fit. If this was on the test server, I would have just killed my ship, but since we're on Tranquility, that's a different situation. Ah, sorry guys, this was very silly of me. Next room. Just destroyed a few Vila Damaviks. Okay, there we go. Destroyed a few Ethencom ships. Now to switch fits. Okay, we're back. Time to fit the fit. Fit to active ship, buy everything that's required. Buy and fit. Perfect. Let's just make sure we got the filaments. Agitating electrical, that's good. Let's go to this safe. See here, got MWD and Coreli A types instead of Sentis. So we'll get some difficult waves. The total loot I've got in this fit now is 21 million. This is from 2 runs, because I've done the run we just did now and then also one previously as well. I find that it's quite similar to T4's, and especially when you take into consideration the filament cost is negligible here. T2 filaments are so cheap. Oh yes, this is great. With the MWD, just go straight in. Let's grab the loot. Super fast. Just down a quick volley here. There we go. Grab the loot, 3 million. Typical like a T4 loot there. The extraction nodes are going to be a lot worse here though. But the bi-adaptive, I find them to be about the same as T4. The Lucid Deep Watchers didn't even seem to have had enough time to lock us up before we destroy one of the frigates, almost the Ephialtes and the bi-adaptive. That's how slow it took the Lucid Deep Watchers to lock us up and how fast we were. Super speed, let's go! Let's go with our super speed here. The Coreli A-type MWD. Really fast. Conflagration. Orbit. And then we can turn off the MWD as well. Don't need to get unnecessary transversal velocity here. Like that, we can just move here. And I like also using MWDs on assault frigates in general because they're like sort of inherently made for them, because they have a reduction in Microwarpdrive signatures radius penalty. So in a way, this MWD helps a little bit speed tank. But the thing is, we're not really like a ship that's focused on speed tanking, because we're anyway going to have to be close, and it's hard to speed tank up close with an MWD, since if you're moving really fast up close, I'm probably going to not be able to hit really well. The tracking is not going to be good enough. Taking damage from the Lucid Deep Watcher, not going so fast. Seems like it's alright. Takes a little bit of time to get through the Lucid Deep Watcher. I mean, we've not got the most amount of DPS for our Retribution, since we've only got 1 damage module. But, I mean, we've still got a decent amount of DPS up close. 300 is okay, especially for a frigate. And Lucid Deep Watchers are known to be quite tanky. The great thing here is we can quickly move to the next room. Just MWD pulse and we're set to go. 4 minutes in the first room. I mean, I think it's okay considering it was Lucid Deep Watcher wave. Scorch, lock up some of these frigates. We could probably take one out while we're on the way towards the bi-adaptive spotlighter. Seems to want to get close and personal. There we go. I'll put Conflag here. And then we want to go for that Rodiva. Rodiva hasn't even started shooting really. They're slow. We're too fast. The Retribution is too fast. Seems like we're able to hit decently at 2.5 kilometers with the MWD on. Not having any tracking issues, so that's good. And more like 7 kilometers away, because it seems like the Rodiva is also going pretty quick, so they're sort of causing us to be further away than 2.5. We'll start approaching. I think it'll be a bit easier to get closer. But tanking, absolutely no problem though. Really good tank we've got. And decent clear time here with the Rodiva wave. It's just this Rodiva and then these rogue drone frigates go down really fast. Especially when you've got a tracking assist. I think that's probably why I was also tracking really good when I was going fast. That tracking pylon helped me. Maybe it wouldn't be the case if the tracking pylon wasn't there. But also tracking these guys extremely well. Look at that, just laser beam accuracy. Destroyed. Great. Scorch, we're ready for the next room. Pretty smooth I must say. Can we encounter some Lucifer Drain Meals, they're usually the more difficult waves. Also, Vedmak waves can be a little bit difficult as well, especially when you've got some anchorings as well. Let's go for Conflag. Keep at range 2.5. Take him out really quickly, because he's going to make it so that we can't move if we let him warp scramble us. Come on, let's take him out. Okay, now now that guy is on us. See if we're able to destroy him so that we can get moving. Yeah, it's perfect, because the Damaviks, they warp scramble us, but they warp scramble us at a very close range, so we're able to use Conflag on them. So then we can keep moving after that. Look, there we go. So we can now go to the Vedmak. And we seem to be attacking the Vedmak actually really well. An orbit maybe 5,000. Seems like the effect from the warp scramble is still active. Takes a bit of time for it to go away. Oh no, it's still there. Ghost Damavik. Those are the actual ghosting Damaviks. The ghosting Damaviks are usually the people who do tracking or guidance disruptors, but this is an actual ghost here. So it seems like we're not able to keep up with the the Conflag without the MWD, so we have to use the MWD on. And I think that's actually something I should have known, because Vedmaks are pretty quick cruisers. Orbit 5,000? Maybe orbit 2,500? Maybe that would be even better. Come on, get closer, please. Okay, we have to approach, I guess. There we go, get some good hits now. This wave can be difficult because the Vedmak does do a lot of damage. So if a frigate gets hit with a wrecking shot from this guy, you can be in trouble. Especially when he's pulled up a lot like he has now. Maybe orbit 5,000 perhaps, something like that. Or 500, not 5,000. Like that is good. That's really good, actually. So I think that usually I would like to go for the Vedmaks first, because they like have an increased risk of doing wrecking shots when they spool up. Well, not increased risk, but increased risk of doing big wrecking shots. Because there's always a small chance that a ship can do a wrecking shot to you, like a 1 in 100 or something like that. Which doesn't care about how fast you're moving. It doesn't care about your transversal. Does a ton of damage that hit. But that is like a modifier to your normal damage. So if I do 100 damage, it'll be like, I don't know, multiplied by 3 or something like that. But if his damage or normal damage is spooled up, like, you know, like the trigger means they spool up damage, then he gets a wrecking shot on top of that. When he's fully spooled, he's going to do so much damage, which he actually has one-shot my ships previously. I think the Retribution has enough buffer to survive a wrecking shot, because generally speaking, the Retribution is very tough. It's got a pretty big buffer for a frigate, so usually I don't have troubles with that. But still, I prefer to reduce that risk. So I like to take out the frigates, the Vedmak first, and then the frigates. But that was really smooth, really smooth actually. I want to do more tests, but so far it feels really great with this Retribution. Really dummy proof actually. I didn't really have to think at all, just went straight in, attacked, no problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. Dummy proof T2 Retribution. I have high hopes of this. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.